Have you ever considered what lurks in the shadows, hidden from the naked eye? Those corners of our world, shrouded in the mystery of the unknown, are home to stories that stretch the boundaries of our understanding. In the realm of the unexplained, the line between fear and fascination blurs, and we find ourselves intrigued by the enigmatic and the eerie. Today, we're going to explore one such story, a tale grounded in reality, yet tinged with elements that defy reason. This is not a tale spun from the threads of imagination, but a true incident that unfolded in the stark light of day, yet managed to plunge its subjects into the depths of darkness. Fear, you see, isn't always about the monstrous or the grotesque. Sometimes, the most terrifying things are those we cannot explain, those that lurk just beyond our grasp. Today, we delve into a tale that intertwines reality and the inexplicable, a tale that will send chills down your spine. Our story begins on a cold, eerie night in a small town known for its tranquility, but not on this night. Imagine a place, a haven of peace where nothing much happens, a place that thrives on its predictability. The town, draped in a blanket of silence, was an image of serenity. However, there was an undercurrent of something more, something unsettling that was about to unfold. In the heart of this town lived our protagonist, an ordinary resident whose life was about to take an extraordinary turn. A shiver of unease crept up his spine, an ominous prelude to the night's eerie events. It was as if the very air around him was charged with a foreboding tension. He could feel it, a strange sensation that something was amiss, but he couldn't quite put his finger on it. As the clock ticked on, the usual sounds of the night seemed to grow strangely muted. The chirping of the crickets, the rustling of the leaves, the distant hoot of an owl, all seemed to fall silent, replaced by an unnatural quiet. It was as though the town itself was holding its breath, bracing for something. The unease turned into dread as a series of peculiar happenings began to unfold. Doors creaked open without a hint of a breeze, lights flickered without cause, and shadows seemed to dance and whisper in the corners of his vision. Our protagonist felt an icy chill run down his spine, a feeling of being watched, stalked by an unseen entity. As the night wore on, the strange occurrences escalated, each more unsettling than the last. It was as though the very fabric of reality was being distorted, twisted into a nightmare that defied explanation. The protagonist, once a beacon of rational thought, found himself questioning the nature of his reality, trapped in an uncanny world of the unknown. And then, as the clock struck midnight, the tranquility of the town was shattered by a blood-curdling scream. The scream echoed through the silent streets, a chilling testament to the unsettling encounter that had just taken place. The quiet town was never going to be the same again. The scream echoed through the silent town, a chilling reminder of the horror that had unfolded. The stillness of the night was shattered, replaced by a palpable dread that seemed to hang in the air like a dense fog. The townsfolk, once comfortably nestled in their homes, were now wide awake, their hearts pounding in their chests as they tried to comprehend the blood-curdling scream that had ripped through the quiet. In the heart of the town, our protagonist stood frozen, his mind racing as he grappled with the horrifying revelation. The scream had not been a figment of his imagination, as he had first hoped. No, it was all too real, a haunting echo of a terror too terrible to comprehend. As the echo of the scream faded into the night, the protagonist found himself alone in the town square, the cold stone beneath his feet offering a stark contrast to the warm bed he'd been rudely awakened from. The once familiar surroundings now seemed alien, threatening even, as the shadows danced menacingly under the pale moonlight. The town's reaction was swift, but confused. Lights flickered on in homes, casting long shadows on the cobblestone streets. Doors creaked open as brave souls ventured out, their faces etched with fear and confusion. Whispers of concern rippled through the crowd, the words scream, terror, and fear repeated over and over again, as if the repetition would somehow make sense of the situation. The protagonist watched this unfold, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts and emotions. The horror of the event had shaken him to his core, leaving him with a gnawing feeling of dread. The once peaceful town had been replaced by a scene of chaos and fear, the residents united in their shared terror. The terrifying event had left an indelible mark on the town, its impact echoing in the silent streets and the fearful glances of the townsfolk. The protagonist's struggle to comprehend the horrifying revelation was mirrored in the faces of the people he'd grown up with, their once carefree expressions replaced by fear and uncertainty. As the town grappled with the terror of the unknown, our protagonist was left to confront the haunting question: what had really happened that night?